Welcome all. Welcome to another day of BHR Scrum. We will begin directly today with the topic. And do you remember yesterday what topic we had? We continued with that. Who can remember that?
Sprint planning, sprint review.
Sprint review. Yes. Thank you so much, Sonia, for that. Yes, this is sprint review. And inside sprint review, we almost touched the topic definition of done. Do you all remember that? We started talking about definition of done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's continue from there itself. And I'm going to share my screen for that. Okay. So because I'm finding it little, but still will do that. Let's not change the mind. And here is the topic, definition of done. I want someone to read the bottom line of this slide, please.
BOD is shared understanding within the Scrum team on what it takes to make your product increment releasable.
Okay, that's a very great question. Inside this line. So thank you so much for reading this out. So definition of done, also abbreviated as DOD. And the question, why this DOD is that? Because it brings the understanding, and that understanding is shared with within the team, and its visibility will be there within the team itself. Why? Because the purpose of this is to move the sprint forward. Okay, move the sprint forward. It will help you to move ahead. It will help you to take a decision towards the new sprint. And because it is moving towards the new sprint, that's the reason it makes it it stands out as an increment when it comes to sprint. And when we talk about increment, about the increment in a agile world, it's the sprint is incremented or graduated. It means that it has been already released, but the question is that what made it to do so. So I'll be asking certain questions, okay, and you need to think about it, and you need to give me the answer. Okay, and the question is this: when we are talking about done, means you are now able to release the things. So what what does it take for a rocket to launch? At what what exactly happens, and then boom, rocket is launched. What does it take for? Yeah, tell me what did you say?
A thirst, fuel thirst.
Fuel thrust. Okay. The question will be quite common with all these questions. The number one question is that what does it take for a rocket to launch? What does it take for service engineer to call the customer for the delivery of her vehicle? He or she says that it is done, please take it with you. Or what does it take for a doctor to say the surgery is success? Okay, what does it take to the development team to put the product into the production? Means the answer of these all questions will be the same. So now you need to tell me what is there in the background when they come up and they do this work. What do you think?
First they need to select a team that will be a part of the rocket launching. It can be the team where it will involve engineers who will plan what size and what thrust and what all goes into the rocket. Then they'll need fuel for the rocket, and then they will need various programmers who will monitor when the rocket is going into the space. They'll monitor that it's in the right direction, it's following its path.
Thanks, Sobal, for attempting it. But now I want everyone along with Sobal to come into the direction towards the answering this question. The answer to all the question is same, and it is not more than 2 words. So what is that? What is that behind it? What does it all take to to launch the rocket? When the service engineer will say that, okay, take your vehicle, or say it is done. when the doctor will say the surgery is done, when the development team will should say that release is done. So what do you think?
Product is complete.
Task completion.
So what decides the criteria that it is complete?
Is it customer approval?
Customer, yeah, gives the approval definitely, but it's not customer is saying. What is take for people who are as the design part? They are saying that it is done when they will
When
say.
when the desired outcome is met.
Yeah, and how it gets decided that desired outcome is met?
Working
Testing.
product,
Requirements, what the
Testing is
requirements they want.
successful.
successful or working product.
Yeah, so desired outcome is not just the testing. See, there are a lot of work will go inside, but there will be one thing final that will say, okay, take it out. I mean, just stamp it towards certify it and done. It can be moved to moved and we can move to next. So what does it all take?
No errors.
When come again?
There should be no errors.
Yeah, so there will be few criteria, but those criteria must be available somewhere, right? And based on that, you mark them as done, as releasable. So what you will, so where those criteria should be available, where you will look at it and say, okay, now it is done.
The product backlog.
Document.
What document it would be then?
A checklist.
Checklist. There you go. So that's the right answer. So yes. So do you think that, and do you see and can you observe when we are talking about this checklist, all the answer, in fact, the answer to all the questions will be the same. It is not differing based on the, activity you are doing. So when we start counting backward, when the checklist is done and boom, the rocket will be launched. What does it take for service engineer? He will check against the checklist and every single thing he will be marking as done, 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 done. And when final point will be marked as done, then it is ready to be moved. The same thing will happen with the surgery. Inside surgery, he will see that whether I check these all items or not. Likewise, it will happen in the development team when we are ready to graduate towards the production. With me so far, and everyone agrees with this answer? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, but towards that checklist, there will be few components, which all those components has to be marked under checklist as a done. What all will be those? So let's see. First, when we are talking about when it is checklist, what does it mean? It means that anything which is to be marked as done before delivering has to be agreed amongst engineering team, scrum master team, and product owner. So engineer team will be marking their work as done. Scrum master will review that all activities, including product owners one, has been marked as done. And then Scrum master will mark done to the sprint as well. So his marking done towards the sprint will be the final done. Okay. And when it goes, then deployment team before that has graduated almost. Then only a sprint will get over. When you see what is that anything could be, those anything could be either user stories by the engineering team, code deployment by the deployment team, and then release by product owner. And then top of all of them, sprint will be also marked as done. With me so far? Yes, no? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So let's continue further. So what will be the three main components of definition of done against what all the engineer team, deployment team, and scrum master or product owner will mark things done? That will be the business or functional requirement, or any non-functional requirement, and quality. These all things will be captured, but there is a way to uh, coming back towards this thing when we are talking about user story. So we have to maintain user story towards marking it done. Then there should be a method. There should be what, everyone?
Method.
Method.
Yes. And using that method or format, this user story has to be crafted. All right. So we will have to look at it, what the method would be. So when it comes to user story, I want all of you to take the picture of this, which this. So how any user story against the functional requirement will be written. So there is a template for this, and only this format by each and every business analyst has to be followed. What is that? This is this. As a user or an actor, I want to do certain activity, what or act, so that why or impact to be achieved. It means that inside this angular bracket, these are the ready format. Inside the angular brackets, you are going to fill the material. With me so far? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, against every user story, there will be certain items that requires to be written. So where we do that, so let me do that. Let me reshare my screen. Okay. And I'll show some example, okay, of the candidates using this, okay, and where I can show that example. So with this note, we are having Jira overview. What we are having, everyone?
Jira overview.
Yes. Excuse me. So here students are working in a different projects. All right. But with this different projects, uh, let me go somewhere. Okay. So we will have the board as well. Okay. And so in this board, what is happening, you can see various user stories, okay, against one. These are in the some phases, okay. So one is in to do, one is under in progress, one is in done, and that can be moved, and that happens with the various projects. So we will have the different projects. Can you all see that all different project which is assigned to me, and some people are working with that, okay. So you will have the feasibility. You can decide to create. First, you directly can create the user story. When you will see that here, you have the feasibility to create user story or task or bug or epic directly. Okay. So you choose what you are going to create. And likewise, here, if you are writing the user story using the formula here, and here is the definition of that, and one person will be assigned to work upon it, what is going to happen towards the comment of it. Say for example, there will be a comment inside, and I'll be picking one um, demo. Let me see that. Okay, say for example, there is one user story, and down that, can you all see here? Okay. This is the comment area. In that comment area, what is going to happen? I'll be adding some criteria, and those criteria will include these all items. I'm going to write the acceptance criteria. Now, there is a way to write the acceptance criteria as well. Any business rule at all against this user story, that I'm going to write over there in the comment. Workflow, if at all, is there, including the mockups or the design, that we are going to write over there. Any algorithm that you think that it should go inside that we are going to write into the algorithm. Data point, that we can write that. Apart from this, if some mockup needs to be attached, what you can do is that here you see the attachment part. Okay. So from attachment, you can go ahead and you can, click and you can use it. With me so far? Yes, no? Yeah? Yes, guys? Did you see that? How we are using inside Jira? based on the
Yes.
projects. Now coming back to the topic, what we are going to do is that further I'm going to share some example, okay? And in this example, there are two examples, okay? And here you will see while achieving one example, we are also having the acceptance criteria. And can someone read this sticky note one for me?
As a flyer, I want to view my past trips so that I can find out how much LTA I can claim.
Yeah. So now here is one objective, okay? And one action and one person. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now it could be like two as well. Okay. So I'm here telling you do's and don'ts. What I'm telling you?
Do's and don'ts.
Don't.
Do's and don'ts while writing user stories. So here it could be two people as well, as a flyer or as a planner, okay, or as an agent. But because it will be for both all three of people. I want to view user strips. So we did not mess it up with that. One person, one action, and one objective. And the agent can also grab this information so that I can find out how much LTA can be claimed. Say, for example, or family member. I mean, there could be the multiple users, but you see, for the don't is that don't mix more than two action, don't mix more than two objective, don't mix more than one actor, okay, or user. I will repeat: don't mix more than one user, don't mix more than one action, don't mix more than one objective. With me so far, everyone? Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So it means that for every user, there will be means same objective and same um same objective and same action to be taken. For every user, different action and the same objective can be taken. For the same user, different objective and same action can be taken, or the different action can be taken. So this is how we are going to move further. Okay. So while this activities are happening for one user, there will be certain tasks get completed and they become the part of acceptance criteria. What are those? What are those actions are getting completed? Should be able to find out rupees spent per trip. While I'm checking my past trips, I can also check on the rupees spent per trip. Should be able to find out rupees spent per financial year. I can extract such report based on that. Yes, no? Will I be able to do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to be a thinker to bring out such actions which are getting completed while performing one action. And then only you can write an acceptance criteria. So that's number one. Now let's move to the user story example 2. So I want someone to write this, not write, read this for me, please. Sticky note 2.
User story example 2. As a frequent flyer, I want to review my past trips so that I can find out how many miles I have earned.
Okay. Now you see what is the need of two different example. Now the flyer is same, okay, and the action is same. Can you see that? I want to view my past trip. Till here, there is no change, but objective gets changed, and that's the reason there is the second user story written. What was the objective? So that I can find out how many miles I have earned. Here, the LT, how many LT I can claim. Are you seeing the objective is getting changed over here? Yes, no, everyone? Can you see
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
because the objective is getting changed, and that's the reason it is bringing me to write another user story. I could have clubbed, and this error goes with most of the people. When we ask them to write user story, what they say, they write like this, so that I can find out how much LT I can claim and the miles I have earned. No, there is never use and. When you are using and word, it means you are mixing things up wherever you are mixing in user story. All right, everyone? Have you taken a note of it?
Yes.
So while user story 2 is getting defined, here some activities are getting fetched. So here also you see that here the rupees spent per trip was extracted. Then here should be able to find out miles spent per trip. Should be able to find out validity of miles. So these can be fetched as while performing this activity under one objective. With me so far? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's move further to advanced form of this. Okay. By the way, before I move further, let me quickly ask anyone here for the first time attending this session. This is your live session attending. And I also want to request those people, if you have not logged inside with your right name, kindly go ahead, rename yourself, because in between I end up calling your name and I don't see your name. Someone has logged in with sub, so you need to just go ahead and rename yourself. Please check. Okay. So let's move further, and there is some advanced version. All right. So this is the advanced version. So here you will see this is the exemplary translation. Translation from this table to the user story. With me so far, everyone? Yeah. Yes, no? So we will be
Yes.
doing this translation together as a part of homework, as a part of said assignment. Okay. So before we jump to this said assignment, let's read this sticky note. I want some different people to read this sticky note for me, please.
User story example. As a registered frequent flyer of Fly Agile Airlines, I want to book my ticket through Fly Agile Airline portal so that I can gain my miles.
Yeah. So now the objective is the person has to gain the miles. Okay. And plus the action he is doing that book, he wants to book ticket through Fly Agile portal. They have their website. And who is the user? Who is the user, guys?
Registered frequent
Fly
flyer.
Agile Airlines.
AGILE Airlines.
Yeah, registered frequent Fly Agile Airlines flyer. Okay, but it could be also non-registered, the new user. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so for new user, the format will not format, the action will change. Extra action will come. So for non-registered user, they will have to undergo some registration first or post the flight selection. Okay, so that will be something additional. But while these activities are happening, you know, the acceptance criteria, what is being taken or considered or getting covered are few like this. I want someone to read this checklist. Yeah, these are the checklists. Can someone read that?
Should authenticate user consider the functionality already exist?
Yeah, just let's go one by one. Okay, Chibi.
Yeah,
So
sure.
what we are doing, so the moment we are checking this, so for doing so, what we are doing, we are authenticating. It means that, what do we mean by authenticating? What we are checking?
Login ID and password.
That's right. Credential. So, so first check is done. Okay. So this will be marked as done. Then second, I want someone, okay, JB, you can continue with this.
Should be able to do flight search.
Yeah. So while this user story is being covered, the flight search option will be taken care. So that it has been tested, it has been checked, it has been done. So marked as done. Then third checklist, what is that?
Should be able to do flight selection.
Yeah. So flight search happened, all the lists are there generated, then the user will be able to perform the flight selection as well. See, under one user story, these activities are getting auto performed. Okay. Then comes the fourth one. Could you read
Should
the
be
fourth one? Yeah.
should be able to do enter passenger details.
Yeah. So now this is again auto ask by the system. So he or she will go ahead and will enter the passenger details. So it has been also checked under another user story. Then goes further and yeah,
Should
another
be
question.
should be able to do make payment.
Yeah. So while doing so, the payment has to happen. Now the confirm payment will be confirmed as well. And what is
Add
the last one?
miles, add miles to the passenger profile.
Yeah. So while this all happens, then confirmation of payment goes, then only the flight profile
Mile
detail
shift.
gets added. I could go ahead 1 mile extra, not over here in this with this airlines, but adding a few extension or few acceptance criteria like this. Instead of writing add miles to the passenger profile, I could not have chosen this because this will get only added once flight date gets completed, okay, or the flight gets completed. So this is my choice to consider this or not to consider this over here. Okay, I can check from the past. So this is for the thinking point of view. This is how also you can think. Yes, no, with me
Yes.
so far? Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the challenge is that this is going to be your challenge. I want all of you to take the full picture, okay? And someone of you may do that, post this picture inside the group, and this is going to be your home play, okay? You don't need to work on it, just play with it. How you are going to play? You will be writing with this table different user stories. Okay, what you need to write?
Different
Different
users.
user stories.
User stories. Yes. So user story will be like this: as a Fly Agile Airlines, as a frequent flyer of Fly Agile Airlines, whether you name it Fly Agile Airlines or any other airlines, okay, or Airlines or User Story Airlines, something like that, okay, or just type batch 16 airlines or something like that. It's all up to you, whatever. But the how you are going to write, you are going to translate for the distance. There are two different classes. There are 3 membership, okay, and each membership is coming with the discount, which is mentioned as kilometers count 50%, 75%, 100%, and 125%. And this gets repeated depending upon the classes, depending upon the membership type. Yep. So how it is going to happen? It is going to happen like, as a Fly Agile Airlines, what do you want to do? You want to get discount initially. That's the objective. So with me, everyone understanding what is the objective? Taking
Getting the
the
discount.
discount. Yeah. So discount gets varied when your membership gets varied, and your membership get varied depending upon the class you
Yeah.
choose. Yeah. And your class will also get chosen depending and the entire discount will be also dependent upon how much travel you do. Whether you are traveling less than 1,000 kilometers under economic class, then you are entitled for uh, 50% discount only if you are bronze member. But at the same criteria, if you are silver member, you will be getting 75% discount. At the same criteria, if you are a gold member, you will be getting 100% discount. At the same criteria, you will get 200% discount if you have chosen to travel in the business class. But what if you are traveling in the business class less than 1,000 kilometers or up to 1,000 kilometers? Okay. Uh, as a silver member, how much discount you will get? Only 125%. And in business class, if you as a bronze member travel up to 1,000 kilometers, you will get 75%. But you need to follow which format? As a frequent flyer, I want to travel. I as a bronze member, okay, as a bronze member in the Fly Agile Rail Lines, I want to travel in the economic class up to 1,000 kilometers so that I can claim my 50% discount. Did you see? It followed just the cadence, it just followed the rhythm, it just followed the objective, it just followed the format. Did you see that? My last statement before it? Yes, no?
Can you please repeat the statement again?
Yeah, interesting. So as a bronze member, okay, as a bronze member, I want to travel into economy class. Okay, as a bronze member, I want to travel in the economy class up to 1,000 kilometers so that I can claim my 50% discount. Okay, so this is how, as a user, I want to do certain activity so that I can claim this. Okay. Yes, no, with me so far? Hello. Are you all there? Yeah.
Yes.
And guys, are
Yes.
you learning something?
Yeah.
Zara,
Yes.
can you please
Yes.
repeat? If you don't
Yeah.
mind. I couldn't.
So for that, you need to pay attention, everyone. So I'm not going to repeat. This is the third time. So the format what we are going to follow is this. Format we are going to follow is this. Okay. As a registered frequent flyer airline. So as a frequent flyer user or as a bronze member, as a frequent flyer bronze member of Fly Agile Airlines, I want to travel up to 1,000 kilometers in the economic class so that I can claim 50% discount. And likewise, it will follow. So this is just I translated 1, 2, 3. And I have to translate how many? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 this, then 1, 2, 3 this, then 1, 2, 3 this, then 1, 2, 3 this, and then 1, 2, 3 this. It means that it is creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. In one bigger grid, you will have this 6 minimum, minimum I said, okay, minimum user story out of this first row. Likewise, we have 3 rows. So what minimum user story you see coming up? So how many user story you think can be created out of this table, guys? How many do you think?
18.
18.
Exactly, 18. So minimum user story out of this table should be written will be 18, but I would appreciate your thinking if you can go beyond it. This is not mandatory for each user story. You will have the acceptance criteria, but I would appreciate if you could think of those acceptance criteria and can write against each user stories. So this is a challenge for you. This home play is challenge. Do you think you can do that, guys? For that, you need to require and undergo this table as well as sit with yourself to perform this thinking. Can you do that? Yes, everyone?
Yes.
You are
Yes.
clear with the
Yes.
home play? You are clear with the task, what you needed to do? And when you need to submit before the next week. All right? So you have enough of the time as well. Yes? All right?
Yes.
Everyone is clear? Any question? Okay, so I'll take no for everyone. Now let's move further with because I have done with the user story. Quality. So I want someone to read first checklist for me. First check for me.
Quality. Quality is largely aligned to the coding language, rapid application development, technical tools to build the product. Quality is owned by the development team to ensure that the product is of the maximum quality. These quality standards can be subjective and also data-driven.
Yeah. So quality does not mean that one criteria. It comes with the multiple criteria, and there are certain examples. So we are meeting the quality while we are reaching to the acceptance criteria, marking everything as done. So what could be those example? I want someone to read the example for me.
Defined coding standards like identified in tools, effects scope, etc. Test-driven development, unit test coverage, maintainability index, no defects, known defects, technical depth, design principles, etc.
Yeah. So these are the few things. I want you to know certain things like maintainability index. Maintainability index gets defined that up to certain percent it can be maintained. Okay, means it depends upon the line of the code coded by coders. Okay, when we talk about technical dates, that when coders write certain thing, okay, certain line of the codes, what they do, they also keep on commenting this, which can be just referred as why certain code has been written. Okay, so they keep on building those lines. So what exactly happens, more line of code and more line of messages goes inside writing the code, that continue to enhance the space of those written line of the codes, and thereby the impact of it becomes on the executable software, that makes it more heavier and bigger in size, and it takes more memory. Okay, so that's the reason it is called as technical debt. You got it, everyone?
Yes.
So these are few things that you can understand. So, and test-driven development, it means that there are certain criteria in the test that you are testing. Unit test coverage means coders are testing at their end first, no defects or known defects. So the one criteria could be that application can go with the no defect. But if the testing is ongoing inside it, so there will be always some known defects. Okay, so which client can be informed about, which has been taken with the deferred defects. So those will be listed when you are submitting the quality document. What document, everyone?
Quality document.
Yeah, so when we are releasing, so we are also submitting some document to the customer. One could be the quality document, one could be the how to use document. Okay, so yeah, defined coding standard, like identified in tools. So this is one of the example. We can use Jira for example, Azure DevOps and all. So, and any design principle document is there that we are going to submit. So design principle we have agreed upon. So these all could be the criteria for that. So let's move further and understand what will these came under the quality. Then we also look for the non-functional requirement. It means the moment I switch on to the application, all the time it is available. If at 2 p.m. at night I wake up and try to use it, I should be able to do that. The moment I find any glitch, so it should not happen when I report it and customer goes back to you as a software developer vendors. You are not able to maintain its fixes. Okay, tomorrow if the with the technology device gets changed and your software is not compatible with that, you can enhance the compatibility. Performance, if I am switching into the different browser, it fails to perform over there. Reliability, it is always reliable to go with that. Does it have any another glitches? Scalability, if I need to come up with some enhancement, can it can it get enhanced? Security, it is not like that I'm copying pasting as a logged in user and I copy paste in another browser. I still can go ahead and do some financial things or something which can challenge the security. Usable, is there any criteria in that I am not able to utilize it? Compliances, like is it against the compliance what government is not uh, government has not made anyone aligned to? So there are various things. Legals, okay, is it it is something which is going to be against legality, or it is illegal? So these are also called as the requirement, but this will be referred as non-functional requirement. What kind of requirement, everyone?
Non-functional.
Non-functional requirements.
Yes, absolutely. So now let's move further over here, and this is how the scrum.org sums up with the DoD. Now you have the another way to go to the scrum.org and look for that what is the definition and how a definition of done has been mentioned in the scrum.org website. All right. So
Yes.
there will be three ways. Okay, three types of definitions of done. Okay, one at the initial level, one will be at matured level, and second, last one is add stringent definition of none. And with this note, before I take a deep dive into that, I quickly want you to run through somewhere, okay? And for that, I want to again use this whiteboard, okay? So here I'm going to create what happens. All of you might have gone to some .com website. Can you quickly say that last night if you have gone to some .com website? It could be any website and the well-known website. Tell me.
Parivahan.com.
Which .com?
Parivahan.com.
Parivahan.com. Okay.
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com, widely known. Okay. So I will take that, Amazon.com. So when this is Amazon.com, okay, Amazon.com, this we can understand this website is for
E-commerce.
e-commerce. Okay. So when it is here, it is also referred as this is the live one. Okay. So this is live website, right? Yes, no?
Yeah, yeah.
So this live website will be also referred as, okay, also referred as, this is production environment. Which environment, everyone?
Production environment.
Production environment. Now, do you think that this environment should, because this is so much, this is where every time, any point of time during the day, everyone wants to go. So can anyone, is it okay? Is it accepted when it goes down?
No.
No. So for the millions, and there could be the millions user over here, right? Yes, no? Not at the same time, but overall, I'm talking on the Amazon website. So this is generally, means if it goes down for many shoppers, their heart will get broken. Yes or no? Because it is not up, because they do most of the transaction over Amazon.com. Yes or no?
Yes.
So everyone loves this website. Okay. Everyone loves this website. So it has to be here. Okay. So when it comes to here, this is the production, and production should not go down. So this is the one criteria. But before we go over here, coming back to here, what happens if any error comes into that? Any glitches come into that? Okay. What will happen if any glitches comes for that? Okay. What may happen? Okay. Sorry. Yeah. In case any glitches comes up, okay, can it be fixed in this live environment? Because if it gets fixed over here, it means it will have to go down in between. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in running vehicle, you cannot fix something. For that, you need to stop it. And this Amazon.com cannot take a chance to stop over there. So what should happen? Similar environment we will have to create, just ditto duplicate environment we will have to create, so that we can go ahead, test it, what was the flaw, and fix it, and graduate back to the production. Yes or no? If any flaw happens, we will have to have certain backup. Yes or no, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we will have, there will be another environment to which we may call it as, other than live environment, which will be just before production. It will be either mirror environment, all right, mirror, or we will call it as a pre-prod environment. Okay, yes, no? With me so far, everyone? And kindly excuse me for this not so clear handwriting. Okay. So pre-prod environment or mirror environment, or there could be mock prod environment. Okay. Yes, no. With me so far, everyone? Are you getting, guys, what I'm trying to say? So here in the mock prod environment, such test may happen. The live data can go over here. All right, and can be checked that, okay, the exact problem was over where, okay? But sometime you may not find it. And what happens, before you go over here, you need to undergo some other ways, okay? And there you decide, there you will decide what you will decide. What you will decide, guys? You will decide whether user has accepted this or not. And in case user is accepted, it will become user acceptance testing environment. Which environment, everyone?
User acceptance environment.
Yeah. And there is some background question as well, which I did not hear. Okay. So there is no background question. So I thought I oversaw or overheard. So before user acceptance testing, what happens? This was tested as a system, okay, as a whole system, and then it is called as system integration testing. What it is called as? Yeah, it means that the environment name is SIT. What environment, everyone?
SIT.
SIT. It means that system integration testing environment. And before system testing integration happens, it has to be tested in every sprint. So it also simply gets referred that now system integration testing will happen also at the client location, because you are deploying the multiple components together and you are giving them. So it can also happens, sometime it may be referred as integration testing. What can be referred as, everyone?
Integration testing.
Just integration testing, because it happens in various sprints, and that's the reason it will be referred as integration testing. But before it gets referred as integration testing, it means that it has evolved component wise. It means it will be either component testing or module testing. What testing environment, everyone? It will be called as component testing environment or module testing environment. But this testing is happening for component wise. That's the reason there is one way. And this way means there is one place, one common place. That's the reason there is only one name for this, will be called as testing environment. What it will be called as?
Testing environment.
Testing environment. But now this component was made available to the tester. Okay, it means that if anything will come up for the fix, it must be visible to whom? Visible to whom if it has come for the fix?
Tester.
Tester are seeing them, all the things in the testing environment. They may report some flaw, but it should be visible to whom for the fix? Who will fix? If the error is there, testers have reported, who will fix that?
Development.
Development
Yeah.
team.
And that's the reason it should be visible inside which environment? If it was, no, it was made available in testing environment, but before that it should be also accessible to
Developers and developing environment.
developers, and it will be called as dev environment. But this dev environment, multiple developers can access multiple components, but it has been developed at their local machine, and that's the reason it will be called as local environment. Okay. So first they will develop any software individually, pieces of software individually at their local, and that's the reason it will be called as local environment. And multiple developers are making it available for dev environment, so that all the dev and dev managers can access uh, all the designs and functionality. And once if it becomes accessible to dev environment, it has to go to testers, okay, for on the testing environment. All right, it will go to test for tester for the testing environment. And there they can perform component testing or module testing. Once component testing and module testing happens, every component will be integrated together, and they may have integration testing into the integration testing environment. The testers internal testing will be called as SIT, system integration testing environment, when all the system as a whole will be tested, and client will also do that. But when they make it pass, this will go for the acceptance testing. It will become user acceptance testing, and then it will have a mirror production, that is mock prod environment, and then it goes to live. Are we clear the how it moves further from local to prod environment? Yes. So now here, this is the live environment. It means it gets ready for UAT. From UAT, it goes towards the live environment. Okay. But before it goes to live environment or UAT, okay, UAT, it has to undergo SIT. Okay. And before SIT, it has come from the dev environment or testing environment. Okay. So 3 phases. When you see 3 phases, it means it has 3 different DOD. Okay. So when it is initial, matured, and stringent. In stringent means it has the final criteria is what? It is UAT approved, means UAT environment approved. With me so far, everyone? So with this note, I want you to perform something. Okay. I want you to do certain thing. Because I see that is happening. That's the reason. What I want you to do that. Let's follow this golden quadrant of learning. That's the framework. Using that, we are learning. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen. And what I want you to do in this golden quadrant of learning, we will follow this declaration with the anchor, and then learn and draw and summarize, because I see the stagnance while learning. So get ready to do so. And I'm going to reshare my screen for that. All right. And I will be doing the anchor part. You know what is the anchor, and those who have recently joined and have not gone through, so please not gone through the first recording. You need to go through the first recording, guys. Okay. So let me reshare my screen before. Yeah. So what I want you to do, because I'm getting in, we are moving into a topic which may requires, some refreshed mind, and this is for your mind to be very much
Gaurav, yeah, let me
refreshed.
know when to continue. You were in a flow,
Yeah,
so I didn't disturb you.
sure. So after immediately this, you can come. So let's do this declaration with the anchor. What we are going to do that, we are going to read this on your screen. Can you see this selected statement, guys?
Yes.
And yeah, let's do it together. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to anchor it, and then we will declare it. So how will anchor you need to model? I'll just count 1, 2, 3 and clap. You are going to do it with me. So let's begin. 1, 2, 3 and clap, and repeat after me. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a quick
learner.
What others can learn and master?
What others
Can learn and master.
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
One more time with me. 1, 2, 3 and clap, and repeat, because I'm an awesome learner.
Because I'm an awesome learner.
Today's learning is going to be.
Today's learning
is going to be.
It is super duper easy to me. It's super duper easy to me.
Super duper easy.
Yes, because you said so, it is happening now, and that's the reason we are now shifting back to the topic. Okay, and let me bring this stringent timeline, stringent DOD. So when we are talking about stringent DOD, and I'm very much glad that all of you can understand, especially if you have done this golden quadrant of learnings first step, that is declaration with the anchor. Few things you need to take a note of. The very first one is that in final environment, when you are putting things towards the production live, it has to be UAT improved, regular requirement is completed, documentation completed, it has been peer code reviewed, no known defects are there, performance test has been passed, load testing has been passed, penetration testing has been passed, regression testing, functional testing. As a product owner or Scrum Master, you should have the knowledge what exactly what happens in the functional testing. Regression happens when the things gets fixed. It may impact other areas. So regression testing, penetration for security reason, load test when more than expected load of the user gets into the environment. Then performance test, does it perform still better or not? So such kind of testing will come under. Then functional test automation. So not always there are two type of testing, either automation or manual. So minimum 75% of testing has to be automated during stringent DoD. So make sure it has happened. Maintainability index for the module per code is greater than 90. Okay. So 90 is the minimum line of the code under each module. Technical date should not be greater than 5 days. And no errors in the coding. Unit test coverage, unit test, they have internal coders tested for their internal testing, and 85% coverage has been done. Integration testing, I talked about it. So it has been also passed. No build has been failure when we deploy it coming up to UAT. In the past, it has not been failed, and always we have the past, working build. No dependency unattended, all business functionality and acceptance criteria met. So when we release almost towards the EOT, this will come under stringent definition of done. But when SIT, so up to documentation completed, can you see that up to documentation completed, the above things has been considered over here. Okay, here you will see the peer code review because coders are involved, and the few elements up to the initial level of testing, it has come. Okay, that will come under initial DoD. That is all acceptance criteria. The first level of the testing, then SIT, and then for UAT, all these will be considered as initial DoD, mature DoD, and stringent DoD. If you want to refer it further, definitely you can take a screen of it, or you can go back and refer back into the recording. Any questions so far, guys? Yes, no? Okay, I'll take this silence as a no. And with this note, I want to invite you, Prerna, for take this further, and let me share the screen with you. Okay. So we are moving to another topic, which is called as product backlog management. Hello, guys. Are you awake and still listening? And I need some interaction. That fuels me up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to hear the voices. Yeah, thank you for your responses, guys. Yep. So after a very interesting and elaborative explanation from Gaurav, and trust me, these examples or illustrations are very important from interview point of view, from explanation or understanding point of view, when you actually get into the job and you're working and there are discussions happening. So these all small tiny bits of details are going to play very crucial role in your understanding, guys. Okay, so I will really recommend you to watch this video once again when you have your spare time or when you just want to revise the topic. So moving on to another very important, very practical and absolutely essential topic from Agile and Scrum understanding point of view. So that is product backlog management. If you remember yesterday, we did speak about how product owner's agenda is with respect to product backlog, and when we were talking about the agenda for meeting from everybody's point of view, right? What is the agenda for Scrum Master? What is the agenda for product owner? So that time, if I remember correctly, product owner always had to do a lot with product backlog, right? So today we will learn what is all that and how to manage that in real life. Okay. So please don't mind my voice. I'm a little under the weather. But if you have any doubts, if you feel it's not audible properly, let me know. And then and there, just stop me and ask for to repeat or for further explanation. Okay, that's I'm just sharing from my side. Now, can everybody see the iceberg image on your screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And this image should remind you of Titanic for no other reason, only for recall purpose. Okay. So here, if you see, can anybody tell me what is the speciality of iceberg? Any idea? It can be also seen from this image, but generally they say something about iceberg. So it's quite typical. Anybody can recall? Yeah.
Only the top portion is seen and else is under the water.
Yes, quite close, but there are like stats. They say that what you see on the top, it's barely the 1/4 of the iceberg, and 3/4 the amount of the iceberg is under the water or under the sea. So I'm just telling this to capture your understanding and capture your memory. So here, if you could see, and by the way, this is kind of important from our understanding point of view also, because here we see the below the water portion is quite bigger, but then as you can see, it is given as low priority. Can you see high priority or low priority? Yeah.
Yes.
Can you see the arrow going down that is mentioned as low? Yes, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So if you remember yesterday also, I had highlighted that all the entire product backlog is maintained as per priority. High are priority items at the top and low priority items at the at the downside or at the bottom of the product backlog. So same way, the low priority items, which are also called as, which can also called as future releases. That means they will be completed in future, not currently. Those are mentioned in the bottom or in the below segment of the product backlog. Whereas on the top, we have the high priority and we have the iteration and the release. That means on the top, we have the, sorry, we have such high priority items that will be worked upon by the team. And then, once that iteration or once that sprint is complete, then these items are ready for the delivery or the release. Okay, release and delivery are the one on the same thing, depending on the nomenclature your organization uses. You can use it interchangeably. So same way, is everybody okay with the diagram explanation? Do you still have any doubt with respect to product backlog diagram? Or you want to check what is what? Yes. Everybody, this is open for all.
No, this
Yeah,
is good.
I'm considering silence as no, guys. But in between, if you feel like, please ask. If you have any queries. So yeah, there are 4 points mentioned on the right side. Can 4 different people, preferably the ones who have not spoken yet, will be able to read that, please?
Product
The
backlog.
product backlog is owned by a product owner and reviewed during the sprint planning meeting.
It's important that product owners describe the task in clear, customer-focused language without technical specifications.
All product backlogs are estimated by developers.
Their estimations determine the number of items that will be selected for the upcoming sprint.
Thank you. I was reading on mute. Yes. So first and foremost, is product backlog is owned by product owner. That everybody knows, and that has to be the. Give me a second. Yeah. So basically, product owner is the owner, or he is the, I would say, manager of this product backlog. So what he does is he understands and reviews that product backlog during each meeting, or during each sprint planning meeting. That means whenever we have the first meeting for a upcoming sprint, he is the person who will be in charge, or he is the person who owns the product backlog, and he will demonstrate or showcase it. Okay, we have these many items, and these will be the top priority that needs to be worked upon during the upcoming sprint. Okay. Second, it's important that product owner describes the task in clear and customized, customer focused language without technical specification. So basically what it says is, see, like this group especially, we are all not completely tech savvy, right? We are not technically active group. We are more of techno functional or functional group or resources, right? Considering all of you, including me, as of now, and even Gaurav to an extent. So what it says is that we have to understand the requirements. Hence, product owner needs to explain them in such a manner that they should not sound cliche, there should not be any ambiguity, there should not be any confusion. He should explain them in clear language without any without using any technical jargons. So by the way, there is one important sentence or important tip with respect to explanation. You should always be able to explain a 5 or 7 year old kid about your work or about an issue. That way, you have to mention that on a paper, because when you explain to a kid, or any person who is naive, who do not have any idea, you know that what an extent you have to go for your explanation. Okay, so that is very, very important. Next point is the work, the timings, or the deadlines, or the completion duration should be given by the developer. Sorry, I was on mute. I was saying this goes without saying, right? That developers have to give timelines, because they are the technical people who will be working on the requirements. They are the people who will be considering all the technical feasibility or functional feasibility. So it's better, and it is the right way to come. That they should give the targets or completion dates. Last but not the least, as per the development team's estimation, like for example, if they say that, okay, these two tasks are complex in nature and they would take maybe 40 hours. Like 40 hours is like 5 days, work days is generally considered as 8 hours. So if the two requirements are only taking 40 hours, that means your 1 week has gone there. So next you are left with so next would be again a limited set of requirements, because you don't want to overdo something or take more than what you can complete in your play. Okay? So see, it gives a clear cut understanding that all the technical work, or the technical estimation has to come from technical team, and all the functional and all the requirement related should come from your product owner or for your non-technical team. Yeah, we can go to next slide, please. Yeah, there are 5 points. I'll request 5 different people to read out. And also, after reading your point, I would like your one-line understanding of what this point means. Because these are very simple to understand points. So I just want to know, are you able to resonate with the understanding? Yeah. So you can read the line and you can just explain what you feel about it. Doesn't matter it's right or wrong. Just explain in your own words, okay? Just don't read the sentence again. Just so we all know that are we on the right track, or should I have to explain furthermore, or are you on understanding? Yeah. Is it okay, guys? So you can read the first sentence or you can read one point and you can explain in your own words very quickly what it means as per your understanding. Go ahead. Hello, guys.
Yes.
The product backlog is a list of functionalities, technical requirements, enhancements that are maintained and managed by the product owner. The product backlog is the full set of what the project is going to deliver, with all sets of, that is all the requirements and everything in the product backlog. It is the bigger picture, which will be broken into list of that is into various sprints, and we have the sprint backlog and so on.
That's really nice. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm glad that you are right on point and you explain what it means. Thank you so much. Next point, please.
If something is missing from the product backlog, it doesn't exist. So if a product exists, its product backlog also exists. If an item is not included in the product backlog, it will never be developed. So it should not be missed.
Sorry, guys, I was on a coughing break. I'm really wondering what about other people's? I'm just getting to hear the similar sounds, the typical ones who are active during the session. What about other guys? Yeah. Are you awake? Are you sleeping? Are you not in the zone today? What's happening? Yeah. So let us hear from others.
We are waiting for
Yeah.
you if you can conclude the second point so that
I'm so sorry. No, that's fine. Okay, okay. Okay, then that's my bad. See, basically, what she explained is right. So it's something. It simply means if you do not have if you do not have particular item in product backlog, that means that will never be worked upon. So it's simple as that. If you have a textbook for your exam, and by mistake one chapter is not printed in that, okay? It's a very hypothetical and weird example just for understanding purpose. So if you have a textbook and there is one particular chapter that is not been printed by mistake, so will you study that?
No.
Why?
Out of syllabus.
Why? Because it is not there?
In simple words, out of syllabus.
Sorry?
In simple word, out of syllabus.
Right, in a way, right, because you don't have it. You're like, okay, I don't have that, that chapter in my book. Same way, so the long story short, what it means is, whatever features, functionality, requirements, we need to develop, those all have to be, have or must be in product backlog management or in product backlog. Okay. So in short, all the requirements given by customer, client, and those which are accepted by a Scrum team, development team, needs to be noted in product backlog. Okay, now this is for second point. Okay, third point, please.
Product backlog is never complete. It means
Yes.
anytime, any point can be added, any requirement can be added by the product owner.
Perfect. Perfect. So it's an ever-growing set of requirements. It can be shortened, it can be bigger, but it is never complete. Means it's ever evolving. There's always some changes happening. So unless the project ends and we completely develop everything, we can't say it's complete. Yeah. Next point. Perfect. Next point, please. Yeah. Next point, guys.
Product backlog is dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
That means positively we can add anything into the product backlog.
Yeah, dynamic. When we say something is dynamic, that means it's ever changing or ever evolving. It's not static. Today if I have say 10. 1 second. Sorry. Today if I'm saying that I have 10 work items or 10 requirements, or 10 backlog items in my backlog, that doesn't mean they will remain same. Okay, we can work on 2 and there can be 3 or 4 more additionally provided by the customer. So it means it's, we say today's world is dynamic, and so in that sense it's ever evolving, it's ever changing, it's dynamic, it keeps changing. Now that is what it is. So it's never complete and it's always changing. So that's why it's dynamic. Yeah. Next point, please.
It changes constantly during work progress because new ideas, functionalities appear. Some of them change or move up or down the backlog list. It's pretty straightforward. It says there might be changes when if a client needs UI changes or functionality changes. There is always changes happening. There is always work.
Absolutely right. So as per client changes, as per the requirement that has been mentioned, so their priority changes and then they can be moved up and down in the product backlog. Yes, absolutely right. So guys, you only have explained this slide. So do you have any doubts in this? If no, then we can go to next point. Yeah, this is for others who were not active. Now here we'll actually see what is product backlog and how that is managed, how to manage that. Okay. So can you see here product backlog, feature A, feature B, feature C? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So now we can start from the left. So first of all, it's creating and refining. So product owner, along with the help of development team and other team members, is creating the product backlog and refining it. Refining means, he is kind of ordering the requirements. And how does he do that? First of all, he gets the requirements and estimates from the development team. And after that, after getting the requirements and estimations, he, along with the team, prioritize the items. Prioritize means that we are saying that if something is of highest importance to the customer or client wants it to be developed urgently, then that will be given high priority, and that can go as a product as feature A, because A is at the top. A doesn't mean high priority. I'm just saying A because it's mentioned there. So same way, if something is of less priority and it's not asked by the customer soon, it can go as products feature Z, that can be at the top, at the bottom. Same way. So you get it. First of all is creating and refining, understanding, estimating, and then prioritizing. So it's like basically it's like your to-do list, right? everybody has it. Everybody generally has a to-do list. I mean, I keep having a lot of to-do list, and or the same to-do list keep evolving. So we always focus on the most important task, and we always have that task at the top. And once we do that, and then we go to the next and or less important, or less priority task, low priority task after that. So same way, same logic, same pattern is followed in product backlog. Okay. So there are two sentences. I'll request two different people to read that out, please. Yeah.
The product backlog is a prioritized set of requests for desired product functionality and contains all necessary items to complete the product release.
Perfect. So what it says is that just now what we explained. Yeah, so it's a prioritized set of requests, or that simply means requirements for a desired product functionality and contains all necessary items to complete the product release. So it says it has a prioritized list of requirements, and it has all the requirements given by the customer which are needed to complete the project. Okay. Complete the release means complete the product or project, whatever we are working on. Yes. Next point, please. Yeah.
The product backlog breaks down requests into a series of tasks for the development team and is essential component to guide your agile development team.
Absolutely right. What it says is that it breaks down the task into series for developer teams. See, like if, for example, hypothetical example again, might not be the exact replica of real life. So you can mention a task per se, mention that, okay, we need a login screen with, captcha, or with some, question on it, to ensure that you are not a robo, and some logo on it. Now this can be a very high level requirement, but in practical there can be furthermore details to it, like customer has given this specific logo, they want to have this image on the screen, they want to have a video playing at the one corner, or they also want a chat bot, so all these things can be added information. So all this requirement, it looks like one, but there are teeny tiny many tasks involved. So those needs to be broken down and then worked upon by the development team. So what we say, though we have a requirement, it might sound like one requirement, but there can be many small tiny requirements which are a part of that, and with that together it becomes a bigger requirement, right? Like, for example, getting a child ready for school is one task. Okay, but do you think it's only one task? There are so many challenges it has, like, starting with getting the kid out of bed is a one challenge, and then getting them ready, then brushing, and then their breakfast, and then they're ensuring their books are there in their bag and everything. So same way I'm saying, though it looks like one big task, but there are many tiny small requirements or activities involved which are to be done by the development team. Make sense, guys? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So we can go to next slide, please. Okay, now let us understand some tips to know the product backlog, product owner on product backlog management. So I'll just request to everyone to read out it one by one, and if we have any doubts, we can discuss on them, because more or less it will be similar to what we just explained or what we had discussed. So yeah, go one by one, please.
As a product owner, you are responsible for product backlog management to maximize the value of the product.
Absolutely right. That simply means you have to ensure that you have all the required and important items in the product backlog, and that will ensure that your development is proper and you are working on your sprint goal. Okay, that's one. Next.
The product backlog is the single source of truth which contains all the work to be done on the product.
Yes, that simply means, as I gave the example of of any particular textbook having all the chapters, and if there's one chapter missing, then it won't be studied. So same way, product backlog is like one source of truth. Means it's the one source of all the requirements. So whatever we need to work upon, that has to be a part of the product backlog. Okay. So it has to be maintained properly, and it is the single source of truth, means it is the single source of requirement for your product or for your project. Okay. Always remember this. Next point.
You will have to make some choices about what to build first and what to build later, but also
Yes.
what to build and what not to build.
Absolutely right. You know, this really is such a accurate statement. What it says is that though definitely you have priority, that okay, this is of high priority, this is of low priority, but then more than priority, you also have a choice that okay, you can work on this and you cannot work on this. That means if something you feel is irrelevant or something that is not uh, feasible, not practical, you can straight away say no, or you can highlight that this is not doable. So this is with respect to the feasibility. I am saying that, if something is not as per your project alignment, if some requirements you feel are not accurate, then you can straight away highlight that. So you do have a flexibility. You means majorly this would come from development team, but yes, they do have flexibility. They do have a voice of saying that okay, this is not as per the requirements or as per the project. It's not suitable for project. So yeah, let us not go ahead with that. Yes. Next point, please.
The main tool to manage the product and gain predictability is the backlog.
Yes, so definitely we have to understand, to know where we stand, or to know when the project will end, or how many work items are pending. We have to go back to project backlog, product backlog only. So that's why it helps us to know about our status in the project. Yeah. Next point. Yeah. Anybody?
But if it grows uncontrollably, the value it provides diminishes.
Yes, absolutely right. Now, let me give you a very simple example. If you have a to-do list, and if you have per se 5 tasks in it, okay, and you look at it and you keep planning, and you work one on one and you complete. If you have a to-do list with 50 tasks in it, 50 line items, tell me how would you feel by looking at it only? Give me an
You won't do
honest answer.
anything.
Sorry?
Won't do.
Your voice is not audible. Sorry. Yeah.
We won't do anything. We will get
Yeah.
demoralized.
Just look at it and you just throw it away, right? Like, what is this? Mm-hmm. So same way, you should have limited set of, I would say, requirements, or limited set of activities that you can focus on. So if you have like something that is just growing, your product backlog items just keep adding, and there are things which are, it's uncontrollably, means you have no control over how many activities are being part of it. It's not going to work. You yourself, because see, you're human, you have priorities, you have timelines, you have delivery pressure. So that is not going to work. So ensure that it does not grows uncontrollably, and you have a control on what all comes in the product backlog. Last point.
An unreasonably long backlog is a major pain point for many agile teams.
Now that's what we just explained. So we don't want to get into that. Yeah, we need to have a very manageable, very I would say supervised product backlog, which is realistic and which is practical. Yeah. So we completed this slide. So Gaurav, please advise, should we go ahead or should we take a break here? It's almost time.
Yeah, Prerna, we can resume over here and we can take a pause because we
Okay.
have hit the time. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Absolutely. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Prerna, for taking up till here, and we will resume back on next Sunday. And before we do that, it's time for a quick, you know, attendance, and where you need to go to this uh, WhatsApp group and just type over there that your overall feeling or overall summary, whether you got something, was it relatable, understandable, what do you feel like saying? Just go ahead, okay, and type into the chat window, not chat window, just into the WhatsApp group. All right, and from there I'll take your everyone's attendance. Okay. All right, everyone, thank you so much for showing up, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. Happy weekend till then.
Good night. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye, guys.